As normalcy returns to the globe, Kuwait's economic landscape teeters on a delicate balance. With the shadow of political uncertainty, volatile oil prices, and a global economy in flux, what does the future hold for this Gulf nation? Will the spark of innovation, diversification, and reform ignite a path towards sustainable growth, or will the country find itself ensnared in a web of challenges? Hello and welcome to our Better Life channel. Today, we are going to talk about Kuwait's economic outlook for the next decade. So, let us begin. Long-term economic issues for Kuwait are directly linked to the country's reliance on oil. While domestic consumption is a key development factor, the country's gradual progress away from oil dependence and toward economic diversification is cause for concern. However, things aren't as bad as they seem. Kuwait has one of the world's largest sovereign wealth funds, the Kuwait Investment Authority, KIA, which continues to provide a solid foundation for the country's economy thanks to its extensive holdings in overseas markets. Despite these advantages, the country is nevertheless vulnerable to the threat of declining oil consumption in the future. Kuwait will need to implement significant monetary and institutional changes to address this problem. Political stalemates and high turnover rates in government have slowed progress to a painful crawl. Kuwait's economic transition, necessary for achieving inclusive and long-lasting growth, has been stymied by these factors. The prospect of rising oil prices in the medium term could provide a financial impetus for this shift, allowing Kuwait to prioritize environmentally sustainable development. However, there are potential threats in the near future. There are a number of potential negative outcomes that could occur, such as a more severe global economic slowdown than predicted, unforeseen oil price swings, delays in crucial fiscal reforms, and a lack of available workers. These challenges pose a serious threat to Kuwait's economy as a whole, as they threaten to slow growth in both the oil and non-oil sectors. Because of the weak financial and trade ties between Russia and Kuwait, the invasion of Ukraine has had few immediate economic effects in Kuwait. As recent events have shown, Kuwait's economic growth is expected to surge to 7.9% in 2022. The oil industry's rise of 13.3% has been a major contributor to this expansion. Since November 2022, however, when OPEC Plus agreed to reduce output limitations, the oil industry has shown symptoms of slowing down. As a result of high oil prices, increasing consumer and government expenditure, and the restart of projects suspended by the pandemic, the non-oil sector is on the road to recovery, growing by 3.2%. Credit in the private sector increased by 7.7% that year, the highest rate in 7 years. The housing and building industries, as well as the service sector, have been major contributors to this expansion. Through measures including tightening monetary policy, subsidizing food and energy, and increasing oil production and prices, the government expects to achieve a fiscal surplus of 2.2% of GDP in 2022, while also keeping inflation at roughly 4%. A fiscal deficit of KWD 123.8 million, 0.2% of GDP, is projected in the 2022 to 23 general budget that was authorized in November 2022, assuming an oil price of USD 80 per barrel and an average output of 2.7 million barrels per day. The government of Kuwait is still dedicated to investing in green energy and using financial technology to better manage public funds. Strategic actions like these, together with Kuwait's innate economic capabilities, put the country in a position where it may reap benefits from meticulous planning and execution. The banking industry in Kuwait is solid since it is well capitalized and has ample liquid assets. Strong signs show that the economy is healthy, and non-performing loans are anticipated to account for only 1.9% of gross loans. Since March 2022, the Central Bank of Kuwait has not hesitated to increase policy rates from 1.6% to 4% in response to tighter global financial circumstances. The most recent of these substantial increases, in February 2023, is the 7th time this has happened. In addition, the country's official reserve assets will grow to KWD 14.8 billion in 2022, which is enough to pay for 18 months' worth of imports. The robust currency peg, paired with rising oil receipts, has significantly widened the current account surplus, a positive indicator of the health of Kuwait's external trade. In 2022, the surplus was 26.3% of GDP, indicating a healthy and stable economy. A closer look at the job market, however, reveals more complexity. Despite ongoing efforts, several indicators have not caught up to where they were before the pandemic. The International Labor Organization, ILO, predicts a modest increase in labor force participation to 71.7% in 2023, which is still around 1.3 percentage points lower than 2019 figures. Joblessness is predicted to level out in 2023, with male unemployment at 1.2% and female unemployment at 6.4% respectively. Despite the decline, both of these rates are better than their 2019 counterparts by 0.2 and 0.5 percentage points. The youth population is showing signs of improvement in the work market. The percentage of young individuals who are neither in the labor force nor in school or training, commonly abbreviated NEET, has returned to pre-pandemic levels more quickly than other demographic indicators. The anticipated rates are now 18.1% for males and 34.7% for women, drops of 0.6 and 0.8 percentage points from their respective levels before the epidemic, respectively. As a result of a more conservative OPEC Plus production policy and a sluggish global economic landscape, it is expected that Kuwait's economic growth would slow to 2.7% in 2023. However, there remains hope for growth, most notably in the oil industry. This industry is expected to grow by 1.9% next year as a result of the opening of the Al Zour refinery. Unfortunately, political instability remains a cloud over Kuwait's future. Predictions of continued high levels of uncertainty are expected to slow progress on reform initiatives, including the implementation of new infrastructure projects. Despite these difficulties, the non-oil economy is anticipated to grow by 3.4% in 2023 and 3.7% in 2024. Domestic demand is largely responsible for this upswing, demonstrating how important it is to Kuwait's economy. Commodity prices around the world are expected to fall at the same time that monetary policy is tightening. As a result of these factors, inflation rates are expected to level out at 2.6% in 2023, before dropping to 2.5% during the subsequent 2 years. The data suggests that inflation has leveled down, which might have a beneficial effect on consumer spending and economic growth. So that is all the time we had today, folks. Hope you enjoyed this video. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel and do hit the bell icon to remain updated about all our future videos. See you all next time.